Opening a self-directed IRA is quite simple and easy. The fees involved in setting up a self-directed IRA are actually quite affordable. They've actually come down enormously over the last 10, 15 years. 15 or so years ago, to open a self-directed IRA was expensive. There weren't a lot of firms or trust companies that were in the industry that offered, one, the ability to do alternative assets investments with their IRA. And thus, they took advantage of the scarcity in their services, and they charged high fees. A lot of those fees were account value fees. So as your account grew, or the more money you had, the higher your fees were. And then they also were transaction fees. So 15, 20 years ago, the average guy with 150, 200 grand in their IRA could expect to spend 1,500, 2 grand on self-directed IRA fees, which is really high. Today, in a capitalistic market, competition will drive down prices. And that's what we've seen in our industry. Nowadays, there's many, many very, very reputable self-directed IRA custodians, like IRA Financial Trust Company, Equity Trust, Pensco, Intrust. There's a lot of really good players out there. They'll do a great job administering your IRA, and the fees are lower. You can expect to pay now as low as $360 to $500-600 for a traditional investor that has between $100,000 and $300,000. In fact, IRA Financial Trust Company doesn't have any asset valuation fees. So generally, our fees are about $360 a year, and you're going to pay that whether you have $20 million in your IRA, $50 million. I actually have a client that has $50 million in an IRA, believe it or not. So those people exist. Or if you have 50 or 100 grand. We think it's fair. We want to be in your pocket. We want to be in your corner. We don't want to charge you more because your IRA is growing, because you made the right decisions in your IRA. We're happy for you. We want you all to be millionaires. We want all our clients to be tax-free millionaires. I don't want to charge you more money because you've made more money in your IRA. So our position is we want everyone to pay the same. We think it's a conflict of interest because what happens is each year, the IRA has to be valued. Okay, so the client has to provide a valuation to the IRA custodian. Clearly, if you have cash or stocks, that's not a problem, right? You can, even cryptocurrencies, you can kind of figure out what your account's worth. But for real estate or for more hard to define assets like private placements, it's a little bit more arbitrary what it costs. But we want our clients to be honest. I mean, the IRS requires us to provide a valuation to them on a Form 5498. Again, in most cases, if you're not taking a distribution, not a taxable event in order to provide a value, but it needs to be accurate. We don't want our clients undercutting their value because they don't want to pay more fees. And believe it or not, this happens all the time. I get this question all the time. Well, I use this custodian, and I said that my IRA is worth 180, but honestly, it's worth like 300. But I don't want to pay the additional fee because the threshold is 250. Once I go over that, the fees double. So yeah, I just said what I said. We don't want to be in that position. I want all of my clients to be honest, and I want to get the IRS honest valuation information. So that's why we said flat fees. And we think it works best for the client. It's super affordable. There obviously are some transaction fees if you want checks or wires or you want us to send money to the investment. You're looking at probably $30, $40 in additional fees. But if you're just buying a piece of land or it's kind of a one-off investment into a private placement or a private stock investment, you may only have those additional fees in the first time, okay? And then maybe 4 or 5 years later when you sell the asset. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting in a flat fee, which is now very affordable. So I would definitely look at the fees. If you're doing checkbook control, which is basically using an LLC as a special purpose vehicle to make your investment. So you have your IRA, custodian, and then you have the LLC, and then you have the asset underneath it. You can expect custodian fees anywhere from 180 to 300 or so. So it's a lot less expensive. Why? Because with checkbook control, the custodian is less involved, right? Because you as the manager of the LLC will write checks, will be more involved in the process, so thus custodian fee should be lower. So the custodian's doing less work. All the custodian is doing is pretty much completing a 5498, as well as any 1099-R work, reporting distributions, conversions, and the like. So the good news for all of you who haven't set up self-directed IRAs yet or have IRAs, you got flexibility. Fees have come down dramatically. There's great companies out there. There's a lot of competition. It's a competitive market. There's millions of people that want to do alternative asset investments. There's a lot of great choices. So definitely, go to the IRA Center. You can provide information and get your self-directed IRA account set up. It's easy. It's inexpensive. You can pay for the fees with IRA funds. You can pay personally. If you pay personally, actually, you can actually itemize. If you itemize your deductions, which the Trump tax plan made it a little bit more difficult, but if you itemize, you can actually itemize your IRA fees. Believe it or not, it's actually kind of strange, but you can. Or you can pay it out of your IRA fees, out of your IRA account, excuse me, if you so desire. So it's affordable, it's not expensive, it's easy. You can pay it out of your IRA or personally. It only takes a few days to get started, and you open up a world of investment opportunities, whether you want to do traditional or alternative asset investments like stocks, real estate, cryptocurrencies, private placements, precious metals, hard money lending, hedge funds, private equity. You can do it. It's at your fingertips. Opening an account is simple, easy, and check out the IRA Center. You'll be able to open an account right away, and you can pay the fees down the road through IRA contributions or through your IRA account. Do your research. There's some great companies out there, but the fees do vary. If you don't want to pay account valuation fees, don't. There are options. Ask what transaction fees are. You're in the driver's seat. Consumers in the driver's seat. There are a lot of competitors out there, and the custodians out there want your business. So be smart about it. Do your research and pick the right custodian for you and for your self-directed IRA investments.